say, it's a privilege. I've wanted to come here all my life. It's one of those places you don't really feel, particularly when you come from Hull, that you can just pop your head into. It's a real privilege to be here and to be standing in for Tony Jardine, someone who, throughout my motorsport broadcasting career, I have deeply admired. I know a lot of you have a lot of time for Tony, and I thought you would like to know, in case you don't already, that he's had a small upgrade. They've put a couple of rose joints in his knee. Think of it in these terms. It's like using modern engineering to make an historic rally car competitive in the modern era. He's never going to be competitive. Careful. He may well be watching this back later. In fact, he might even be getting it live streamed privately. Who knows? I was asked to introduce myself to you at the beginning of the ceremony this evening. Nothing quite says you're not famous enough, but we couldn't get Richard Hammond. Quite like hearing that in a meeting before you're planning the event, let me tell you. My name is Paul Woodford. I was once a rally driver. I ran out of talent and money, and now I get to go on adventures like these and tell stories, which is wonderful. I have a poem, which if you don't mind, I'm going to read, because I think it might resonate with some of you. The time has come, a sense of adventure heightened by the desire to belong. The cars, the wine, the stories told on roads to nowhere, to everywhere. A dream built on speed, endurance, a need to win. To keep history alive, put on hold what must become on our journey into the unknown. The momentum of time, difficult to resist, challenging to master, defining every mile. Our journey, our race, our reason for being. That poem is called The Midlife Crisis. I think I'm probably saved by the demographic in the room. Take that as you will. Coming up tonight, we have some brilliant interviews and features, immersive video and photos, which you've seen them all year. They are dreamy. They're going to take us through the night. And we've got a very significant announcement as well for Hero ERA. You will be hearing it for the first time in this room this evening, and it is significant. We're going to celebrate the people and the cars that make these adventures here great, and we will present the prestigious Hero ERA Cup Champion and Golden Roma Awards, of course. But first, let's take a look at some of the moments you probably forgot we'd captured, and undoubtedly you will wish we hadn't.
How has your rally been going so far?
Well, should we start off first of all, but it was great until you came and said I got a great face for radio.
I've got to say the media content that Gary and Will produce through the year is fantastic. We've got some more of those videos tonight, and you are going to love them. I was very entertained looking through them with my kids the other night. We're very lucky to be joined this evening by some very big names in our sport. And we're also very lucky to be joined by people who you can watch and read on the train or in the taxi on the way to the RAC Club. One of those is a guest of Michelin, an ambassador for the brand, Peter Greaves. You will know him as Petrol Ped online if you subscribe to his channel. If you don't, just tell him you do. It's just easier that way. I know you all do. I do. But we've also got Jesse Billington, who is the staff writer and photographer, though doesn't always get the credit for that, for Classic Car Weekly. I picked that up on the way here today, and I thought that's quite cool that we get to hear from this guy tonight. But if you need to know the passion that exists here at Hero ERA, you need to look no further than our chairman. Can I please welcome to the stage Thomas de Vargas Machuca and Jesse Billington, who's going to ask him to say a few words for you.
That's the way I like it. That's the way I like it.
This is great. This is like a more formal version of downstairs, but I've come prepared.
Part of the gin and tonic.
So obviously we're here tonight to celebrate the achievements of 2025 when it comes to Hero ERA. And looking back, what would you say was the finest achievement for the organisation last year?
Look, it's a good question because I think what caught us by surprise was when we announced the Gaucho Trail, South American rally, which within a week was oversubscribed. Now, it's not very elegant to toot your own horn and all the rest. We're still trying to find out what we did right, but the reality is that there is somehow a growing interest in adventure and endurance rallying, and clearly the efforts that have been put through everything that we've gone through the last, say, 10 years, pandemics and geopolitics, have given people enough confidence that we are a reliable platform to go and enjoy these experiences. And we were fully booked with then the problem of how do you then cater for those who are wonderful and passionate people who are just otherwise engaged at the time of signing it up. So in the sadness of not being able to accept everybody, I think it was a great success to be able to have that recognition.
Gaucho Trail really trading off that. Was it presidential handshake almost of sort of saying this is going ahead and it's going to be incredible? There at the launch, it looks like it's going to be a brilliant one. On a personal note, highlights from 2025. There's got to be some.
There is, and I think this is one of those questions which have a trick in the middle. I can't but obviously express my gratitude to everybody who supported me in this great adventure that I undertook in driving solo from Peking to Paris. And we have Kingsbury racing here, Ewan Gatley and his team over there, all the team at Hero, everybody at Bicester Motion who prepared the car in record time, and friends and family, and my wife Camelia, of course, who kind of allows me to go off the beaten track to do these kind of weird things. And it was an amazing experience. Personally, I think I really enjoyed it within the complexities, and a testament that when things are done properly and planned accordingly, everything seems to be more possible than not.
And from that adventure, what was the moment where you started to question, why am I doing this?
The question was really, why am I going back? And if it hadn't been for my wife, the question is, I might just do a bit like Moitessier, sailing around the world. I'll just go back to Beijing and start again. No, I mean, it's the whole point, I think, of what I think is important is to try to motivate people to get beyond their comfort zone. And I have the privilege to take part in some of the events that we organize, and I always try to find something which is an unlikely car, so that A, I don't really compete arm's length, and B, people see that there's a bit more suffering from the chairman than what they're doing, and I think that's it helps me not have to justify some of our choices. That, well, look at me, come on, that was a miserable day today for me too.
And when we look ahead, 2026, there's a lot on the horizon. What are the big standouts for Hero ERA when it comes to tackling this year to come?
Well, look, I mean, we have this wonderful event coming on in March and April, which is our Bedwi Trail. And, the Middle East right now is going through, obviously, moments of complexity. But the friendship that we have from our friends in Saudi Arabia, Oman, and UAE is significant. It's a wonderful event. In fact, anybody who's in here in the room who's been on the previous Bedouin Trail will say it's just an eye-opener. There's so much misconception on the friendliness that there is in the Middle East, not only to the car, but to people wanting to go and educationally understand different cultures and different traditions, but all human and all friendly nonetheless.
And we've seen the Dakar Rally wrap up recently. Obviously, Hero ERA is going to be retracing the steps of the original Dakar Rally. That's going to be a huge undertaking as well, and a big thing to look forward to.
Yeah. So the Sahara Challenge is something which is in 27, and we always have to try to come up with fun ideas. And sometimes the fun ideas is doing what has already been done before, just after many years, where the memory goes into into the closet. So the Paris-Dakar has run from many different places than only Paris. Granada, in fact, the Granada-Dakar was the longest ever interpretation of the Paris-Dakar. So we don't want to copy things right for like. So it's going to be Lisbon, to Dakar. And for a lot of people, getting into Dakar is in itself part of history. I mean, I say it ironically because we have actually ProDrive that this year celebrates, after a few unfortunate near misses, a double win this year in both categories. So actually, David Richards, who's obviously a good friend and for me personally a friend, but such a huge name in the sport, to have at our table today, having won the original Dakar, which formerly the Paris-Dakar, is a lot. So that maybe the inspiration was through the friendship that we were able to have and forge and be grateful for.
There's this huge, great inspiration when it comes to history, and obviously one of the biggest historical pieces is going from Peking to Paris. Do you need a navigator for 2028?
Well, I loved the solo thing. I really, really did. But I almost burnt my navigator the first time around, but he's up for another go. And just to make sure that we have a third party really checking on who is the weak link, we've got a journalist, thanks to David Lillywhite, who will be following us in what has not been done in 121 years, which is 3 people in an Itola. It sounds like a joke, really, but maybe it is. But anyway, three guys in an Itola, 121 years, trying to redo what was done in 1907. So
when it comes to Hero ERA, there is a lot to look forward to in not just the coming year, but the years to come as well, which is a testament to your efforts. So thank you.
Testament to everybody's efforts and everybody's passion and common and convivial supporting a common enthusiasm that we all share. So yeah, absolutely. Many years to come.
Ladies and gents, please put your hands together for our chairman, Thomas de Vargas Machuca. 12 countries, 15,000 kilometers, 10 border crossings, and a few things that even Thomas will not tell you, regardless of how much he has to drink this evening. In most rooms, people would say he was mad, but I think we can afford another round of applause and celebrate that fantastic achievement. Jesse Billington, who has sat down and is desperately trying to stay out of the next part of the proceedings, is going to present the first of our awards this evening. Young people in our sport are incredibly important, and you've seen the initiatives that Hero ERA has to get the next generation inspired. I have my children chomping at the bit and literally counting their years down to be able to do Rally of the Ages. And it's just something that this club does so well. So this is a very special award to start with. It is our Young Star Achiever Award. This young man has gone through some incredible experiences in 2025 as the Bob Rutherford Scholarship Award winner. But before that, he came third on a Hero Challenge 1 in Chesterfield. I saw him at the beginning of the year looking ever so composed, and it's really inspiring. I had my kids with me to see young navigators looking so composed before what is a huge challenge. He was top 5 on Rally of the Tests. Won his first overall event in a novice trial. He is our Young Star Achiever. He is Miles Fieldhouse. He just said to me, I could have done with a pre-warning. He's going to have a few pre-warnings in his career, isn't he? Miles, how does that feel? I'm pleased that we've got raw emotion and no one told you about this.
Yeah, tricky. I don't really know what to say. I've got lots of people I want to thank.
Do it. Thank them.
Oh, Christ. Could have brought a list. No, I've got lots of people I want to thank, and I don't want to go through all the names, because if I miss one off, I'll feel a little bit bad.
And I'll feel terrible as well for making you do it.
Yeah. First off, I've got kind of hero, all the team, especially Guy as well. I don't want to forget where it's come from. So obviously, Lee Bob with the scholarship, that means a lot. And that wants to be my first mention in my thanks. The hero team have been great. I've loved every event, and I've got lots to do next year, so I'll be seeing them fairly often. I guess next on the list, I've got Steve, who's hidden around that pillar. I can't quite see, but everything kind of started with Steve, my first event, and then he legged us into the scholarship, kind of pushed us forward to do that. And without him, I wouldn't have really got anywhere. So, yes, Steve's the man manager. That's what we call him. So. Yeah, he's kind of the big name. And everyone else, my dad, doing my first event with him, that was something special. And then everyone else I've done an event with or been on an event with, they've all been really, really helpful, and different varying scales of kind of help to me. But everyone's helped in some respects, and so a big thanks to everyone I've kind of just shared my journey with.
This is a horrible question, and you could have done with warning, but I'm going to ask anyway. I've only got one chance, you see. You were in the presence of the 1981 World Rally Champion navigator. That is pretty cool. What is your big goal? Where do you want this to lead?
Where do I want it to lead? Big question. I could have done with a warning.
It's raw emotion. It makes the evening go much better. It's not even old enough to have a drink to calm the nerves, are you?
Don't tell them that. No, I think I want my life to involve something that I enjoy. I'm doing my exams later this year, A-levels, and then I'm kind of done for the year. I'm into real life, so I want to keep doing events, but maybe a bit more than that. I want this to be part of my life in a kind of greater fashion, and so I don't know. I'll have a chat with some of the bosses. Iron them up, but. Yeah.
If you are the future, if people like you are the future of our sport, I think we can all agree the sport is in very safe hands. Congratulations, that is a big award to win. Can I please raise a toast to the supportive wives, husbands, partners in the room, because they're the most important ones, right? Now, the next man I'm going to invite on the stage, you all know quite well. He has escaped political protests and biblical storms, taken countless rally cars over rickety bridges shortly before they've collapsed, and all in the name of keeping the rally going. He is the outgoing competition director. He stood down in December. Please welcome to the stage, Guy Woodcock. Guy, I have to ask, because you've told us you're retiring, and you keep telling us you're retiring. In 1983, you did your first rally in a Mark II Escort. You're still rallying a Mark II Escort, so you don't like change. You're not going to retire.
Actually, I'll correct you there. It was 1979 in a Mark I Escort, 3 weeks after I passed my 17th birthday, and we drowned out in a Ford after half a mile. After that, yes, you're right. You know, semi-retirement, I think, is the word I'll use at the moment.
Can you tell us what's happening next? Who's taking over, and give us a flavour of what we can expect next?
I'll just let me start at the finish. Start at the finish, start at the start.
You start where you like.
This gentleman here, Thomas, we first met in 2009 in a ditch somewhere up near Middleton in Teesdale, actually. We came over a crest with how I was navigating Powered Warren, sheet ice, straight into the ditch. I'm now trying to get out with a rope. I hear this Porsche coming. He's going to slow down. He's going to slow down. No, he's not going to slow down. He stopped about an inch from my legs. At that point, I thought, this is a mad Italian. What am I going to do here now? Anyway, move on. And 3 or 4 years later, we had a conversation. I won't bore you with the details, but from 2013 onwards, I've done 13 or 14 years with Hero ERA. It's been a challenge. Those of you who know Thomas will know that it's a challenge. Patrick is was or is the calming influence. But yeah, I mean, we've grown a massive team from running 3 or 4 events to last year, I think it was 13 events with a great team. I made a decision in September to step back a little bit. Grandchildren are going up, or grandchild, another one on the way, thank God. I didn't miss my kids growing up, so didn't want to miss that. But we've got a great team there. James Phillips has taken over from my role. James has been there 2 years now. Very sensible head, calming influence for me actually as well. Much to his disdain sometimes. I did use a 28 font email to him the other day with a rant. But apart from that, it's been quite good. And the team with him now working in Julia and Gethin, Stanka and Gemma and everybody else. There's a great team there that I'm leaving there. Semi-retirement is what I want to do. I'm doing 6 events over the next 2 years, the ones I really enjoy. And, I think the interesting conversation was, what's my job title? I don't know who came up with it, but competition strategic advisor is interesting. But hey-ho, I'll do what I asked.
Tell you what, Tony gave me a list of people who might go over their time. He didn't put you on that list, Guy. But you are a hero of the Hero ERA world. Another round of applause, please, for Guy Woodcock, who is going to stay. Guy is going to stay for the Hero ERA Challenge Championship Awards and hand out the prizes. If you want to give me that back, unless you feel like talking again, you're welcome to keep hold of it, Guy. We move on to our second award of the evening, and it's the Hero Challenge Championship winning driver and navigator. The driver is here, the navigator isn't, but they both deserve a story, and so we're going to celebrate them both. The winner, who was blinded by champagne at times and has had to defend his choice of car to, shall we say, the purists in the sport, but no longer does he have to do that because he has the results to back up his stories. He is James Holt. Mike Cochran is the navigator. Felt the pressure mounting. James, fantastic result. Just tell us how you used to justify the car compared to what you'll be saying when you walk into the room this season.
I've always enjoyed every event, and every Hero event is so well organised, and I take my hats off to the organisers, Guy in his position, and but we mustn't forget all the marshals that come out on these events. I'd like everyone to show their appreciation for the marshals that may not be here tonight, but they're the ones that make these events happen.
So we have to talk about Mike as well, because Mike's achievements were 6 seasons in the making. Would you agree that he has won that award through being professional and at times having to be a really quite exquisite sportsman, because those times can be quite under pressure, can't they?
Well, absolutely. The pressure was on all season, and it was so close. Literally seconds apart at the end. And you haven't mentioned my navigator, Al Selecki, who unfortunately couldn't be here with us tonight, but without him in the left-hand seat, my success wouldn't be here tonight.
I
thank
left
you,
that
Alistair.
one for you. For now, let's just hear from and see from our winning navigator, Mike Cochran.
2025, here we
Indeed.
all go again. We're going to do all three.
Hoping to.
Mike, great job. Podium, you wouldn't have thought about that this morning, would you?
No, not at all. Fantastic day. Really superb day. And this beast of a car, a great driver, fantastic result. Very pleased.
It's this guy, isn't it? Come on, there's nothing to do with me. I just make the thing go where he tells me.
If you're going to win, you need the best navigator on the track.
You're the champion.
I am.
Navigator.
It's been a while coming.
I love these videos because having grown up with the sport and with rally drivers and navigators as my heroes as a kid and still as an adult, to watch those scenes and to know how much it means, I'm sure all of you in here know how much that means. It's a fantastic sight. I love the fact we've got them. As we announce our winners, our next award is the Major Achievement Award. It's a luxury of being able to plan an event like this, that you can actually come up with awards that are not just people who have won because they're fast or won because they're the best competitor in the room. Sometimes our sport is about the characters, and you know what's coming, surely, when I say that. We're talking about a Paris fashion designer, a lady famous for her charity work, in fact, working with Great Ormond Street Hospital, not far from here. I've got a few people who know exactly who I'm talking about now, and for being one of the standout characters on the Peking to Paris rally. Some of the scenes you're about to see will sum that up. I am, of course, talking about our Major Achievement Award winner, Sabine Notz-Katsiapis.
I have friends who are telling me now, Sabine, you know, at our age, we have to be careful. Well, I want to do exactly the opposite. We start in the morning with all different colors clothes, and we end the day with all the same different shades of beige. It's a sleeping bag. It's not a coat. It was very demanding. I feel very strong, or at least much stronger than I felt when I started this rally. The most wonderful experience.
Never done a rally before and thought, I know, I'll do the Peking to Paris. I sat and watched that video the other evening with my wife on the sofa, and my wife went, she's really cool. I actually quite fancy going rallying now, so it just shows, doesn't it? You can be inspiring. Sabine can't be with us this evening. Guy is being kindly asked to pick up her award for her, but we do have a few words from the lady herself.
A few days ago, Patrick Bird called me and said, Sabine, you have to come to London for the Hero Era Award. I told him, I'm sorry, I cannot. I've taken a new challenge this year. I've gone back to my first love, which is fashion stylism. I'm fully immersed in an intense one-year course at home, in Dubai, here, and I'm sorry, I cannot. But I was given the Major Achievement Award. Oh my God! Speaking to you tonight, I feel almost embarrassed by those kind of words. I suppose I'm the kind of woman who jumped into the water before checking for temperature for sharks. And that's how I approached my studies this year, and this is how I approached Peking to Paris. I jumped in. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it my way. And my way of choosing the car might not be yours. When I was recommended to choose between a 911 or Chevrolet Fanjo, it was simple. I opened the boot, and the Chevrolet won. I needed a wardrobe space. So here we are. I didn't just survive this. I enjoyed every single day. Somehow, I don't know how, I handled navigating and driving solo for 3 days in the desert. And I was told when I went back at the camp, I looked like a terracotta warrior. It was tough. Also proud as a Swiss woman to be the first one to choose the snow pass over the muds in which the others were entangled and see all the other cars following me. I jumped in. I'm happy to show that you can be a strong woman playing in the boys' playground and still remain feminine. Thank you, Josh, at DT Vintage, for preparing my car so perfectly. Thank you, Luciano, my dear friend and co-pilots. You are a true car whisperer. You taught me to listen to the engine. Sabina, Sabina, piano, abbassa la musica. And thank you, Hero. I leave this adventure with stars in the eyes and fantastic new friend. Will I do it again? This kind of adventures stay scars in your life, in your brain for the rest of your life. The answer is I no need, but the little devil inside me is whispering. Sabine, you know very well you will be back.
Now that is how you do an acceptance speech at a Rally Awards, ladies and gentlemen. Never mind Hero ERA. David, I think she needs a work stature seat on the Dakar for next year. She will certainly bring in the social media followers. Such a glamorous and exciting lady to watch. Our fourth award is for the Greatest Gain Award. I'm always impressed by husbands and wives that can go rallying together. I couldn't do it. My mum and dad, I grew up in rallying because my mum and dad used to rally together. And so the story goes, when dad started saying, "Are you sure?" Mum said, "It's time to stop and have children, Dave." I had the pleasure of watching this pair actually on the Challenge 1 in Chesterfield, just as the cars were being warmed up. And I love nothing better than a rally start and the atmosphere. And watching this pair get ready and go through the notes, I was stood with my kids, and I actually took some pictures of the car warming up and getting ready because it was just such a really nice scene and reminded me what can be so great about our sport and how it can bring people together. The Greatest Gain Award goes to Christopher and Claire Day. With results including second overall on the summer trial. Christopher, often it's you winning the award, as the photos come in, for test pilot. On the bits that involve speed, but on the bits that require brain power and keeping people in check. Claire, I think you won those bits. Just give me a little flavour of what you need to do to be able to keep calm and keep the marriage together while you're rally driving together.
To be fair, it's really good. It's quite easy. It's quite easygoing. So.
Could you make something up so that it's more entertaining?
It's really bad. But no, he's like so easygoing. It's like, right, okay, we're doing this. Right, okay, that's fine. Okay. So it's so...
You've been navigating for just over 2 years now. You've won a novice trial in that time. Do you enjoy it? Because you had the biggest smile on your face at the beginning of that test where I saw you in Chesterfield.
I am absolutely loving it now. To be fair, on the summer trial, it was a little bit pressurised when...
Here we go.
Quite, like, close to the top, and he was going, right, let's just stay away from the cameras. It's just easy going, let's just stay away. But, yeah, I just love it. And I can't wait to do the next season.
That is good to hear. Chris, you are a fast driver, and that little Mini of yours, it comes in at all sorts of angles, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know how it happens. It just seems to do. I tend not to lift off. But yeah, I mean, it's all really down to Claire. She really does the work behind the scenes, organising things, up late at night, practicing before rallies, just getting everything ready. It's incredible, really. And I don't think it helps when I sort of say, what's next? What's next? What we're doing? Next instruction.
Well, we've got a surprise for you. I've spoken to Patrick, and we're going to put an in-car camera in the car, and we're going to stream it live on All Hero ERA. That's right, isn't it? That's what we spoke about at lunch. Because we think that will be really entertaining, don't we?
It would be something you'd not heard before.
No, I'm just going to take Claire's first answer. It's really easy. Ladies and gents, Christopher and Claire Day. I'd like to invite Patrick Burke, Hero ERA Director and Head of Partnerships now. I'm going to chat to Patrick a little later, so I'll save that one for now. I know we've got something exciting, and we're both quite excited about this, but no more so than Patrick. He told me at lunch, and it is exciting for Hero ERA. But Patrick is going to present our 5th award, which is the Philip Young ERA Award for Best Performance in 2025. Now, the navigator in this award is not here, but it's the first time since 2013 that a Chevy has won the Peking to Paris. Not only that, beating and ending a run of Bentleys on the event. And do you know what? A 1939 Chevy doing the business on a rally like that is no mean feat. Please put your hands together for Tony Sutton and Andrew Lawson. Tony, come and have a word with me here, because I want to ask you, because you must be the most qualified person in the room, second perhaps only to...
I doubt that, but anyway.
Mr. Richards over there, to tell me what the meaning of adventure is.
I think the meaning of adventure in this instance is just getting up every morning and enjoying whatever's going to come at you next, because it was just fantastic. It was literally an adventure in that you didn't know what you were up against most days, and it was always enjoyable, and there was such a great group of people around, and it was so well organised that all you had to do was enjoy yourself.
There is something about these events, but there's something about those cars. A friend of mine, Mike Dent, who a few of you know, prepares cars like these for Hero ERA events, and he invited me to go for a drive in them. I grew up watching Postman Pat driving like this. When I learned to drive, I realised you don't drive like that. Then I drove a 1939 Chevy rally car and realised you do drive like that after all. They're incredibly hard things to drive, aren't they?
They're not like driving a 911 or something along those lines, that's for sure. I think they're fabulous things. They are absolutely fabulous things. They're comfortable, they've got a lot of ground clearance, they take whatever the organisers put in front of us. They're brilliant things. They're as vague as hell, and you don't always know if they're going to start, but other than that, they're brilliant.
Highlight of the event this year, highlight of this award that you've won, just give me one highlight, something that stands out to you.
Any of the camp nights. The joy of getting out of your car, making sure it's all right, and going and sitting down and having a beer with just a brilliant group of people, that's the highlight, without a doubt.
And that is what this is all about, isn't it? Tony Sutton, congratulations. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
For the winner of the Peking to Paris. Patrick, I'm going to give you that back. One thing that I have learnt since getting into Hero ERA and watching from behind the scenes, but then speaking to you and other people involved in this fantastic and adventure-filled category of our sport, is that everything you do is authentic. And that kind of sums up what we're going to talk about next, doesn't it, as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We well, hold that thought for a second. Let me just say thank you to a couple of people that I wanted to say thank you to. Firstly, to our existing partners. We have Pete Shaw here from Michelin. Thank you very much for joining us. Lockton in here. And then indeed, authentic people that see what we do, that love what we do, and that fit right in, really. And so we're announcing a very important partnership this evening. I don't think I can say it much better than what this video will show. So maybe let's just watch that.
Formula One, fresh from the Dakar, and fresh from cycling, World Rugby, anywhere there is an adventure, Tudor Watches, that brand is there, and now it is here. Can I please welcome to the stage to join us, Cole Pennington, PR Director of Tudor Watches. Cole, I spoke to you earlier, and you had a big coat hanger grin on your face to be in this building, to be surrounded by these people. And I think your quote was, "These are my kind of people. This is my kind of sport."
That's right. That's entirely true. And I would say after tonight, seeing the characters and the videos, the awards, I'm only more sure that this is the right place to be.
A watch these days in sport and just as a brand is far more than just a timepiece, isn't it?
It is. I think the interesting thing, timekeeping in general is, of course, very important to the sport. That's a given. But the spiritual connection between the two, the abstract notion of brands that share the same values is incredibly important. And I would say, okay, so our watches may be a little bit more reliable than some of the vintage cars that we're driving here, but the spirit of the products is the same, and really the challenge of taking on the unknown is something we like to do. And as Patrick has illustrated throughout our time together, and then coming here tonight and seeing this, it's very clear that Hero ERA is the same.
Patrick, when you told me about this earlier, you told me that not only is this a really natural fit, but it was a really easy deal to do. Having met Cole, I can see how easy those discussions were. It just fits right in, as does the brand, right?
Yeah, absolutely. This was a partnership at first sight. No, but put it this way: every time that we drop a flag at the start of an event, every time that we drop it at the end of an event, a heartbeat starts. It's a time. Time defines our events, and it's not measured in minutes, hours. It's seconds. Seconds, whether it's a one-day event or a 40-day event. Born to Dare. When we are in the middle of the Gobi or in Kazakhstan driving along and breaking down, or Thomas does it, so that's when we dare. That's what this stands for. That's why we are together. That's why it makes sense.
A partnership and a brand match that makes perfect sense. Tudor Watches, the official timing partner of Hero ERA. Thank you to Patrick, and thank you to Cole for joining us on the stage there.
Thank you.
I nearly came a cropper, that's a Yorkshire word, on our table earlier. I have this joke normally when I'm in a room full of rally drivers, because I'm a bit like a teacher in that I have lots of people who know who I am, and I have to remember lots of names. And people will come up and say hello, and sometimes I really struggle. And I just make this joke that if you do this, then I'll recognise you, because normally I see people in helmets. Well, you buggers don't wear helmets, do you? And there's a gentleman on my table, Richard, who works at ProDrive, who actually showed me around ProDrive a couple of years ago when David kindly invited me there, and I could remember his face, and luckily I didn't use that joke, because he wasn't wearing a helmet the day he showed me around ProDrive either. That would have been rather embarrassing. So we move on to the third and final segment of tonight's awards. Are you all having a good evening, by the way, at the exquisite hospitality of the RAC Club and Hero ERA? I am. It's the first Hero ERA event I have presented. I've been around the rallies, and I know a few of you. But genuinely, it's a room full of people who have got wonderful stories and adventures, and for me, that is the perfect Thursday night. Right, I'd better stop talking, seeing as we're behind time, hadn't I? And call Ben Cousins to present the next award. Former chairman at the Royal Automobile Club and board director here at Hero ERA. Now, I understand, he's going to struggle to get to the stage, so please put your hands together and keep doing that till he gets up here. Are you okay? This one, I'm allowed to have favourites. This is my favourite award of any rally do, Spirit of Competition, because that's why we do it, all right? The spirit of rallying, and anybody who's done it, anybody who's been involved knows exactly what you mean when you say that. It means different things to different people, but this one is for a crew, and I love these stories. I only wish Tony Jardine was here to tell them, because he brings them to life, but he told me this story about the Pearl of India and a very unreliable Mercedes. I'm probably giving a bit too much away there. One breakdown after another, long story short, and they had to keep smiling. But the navigator got to know the locals really well and quite likes India now, because she spent quite a lot of time by the side of the road chatting to them. Spirit of the Competition tonight goes to Peter and Debbie Fitzcharles. Forgive me, but you look absolutely knackered at the end of that.
I look knackered normally. It's a normal look.
You dropped me right in a hole with that one, didn't you? Now it sounds inappropriate. Stoic was a word that was written down on my script, and that, do you know what? Stoic didn't quite do it for me. Can you explain what it was like having to get to know the locals and how you began to love that part of the world?
Do you know, we were in terrific company, but when we broke down on the side of the road, we were very much alone. And within minutes, we were surrounded by the most beautiful people ever.
All wanted selfies.
Well, some people didn't want them near the car. Some people did, you know? And life is all about people. And we were so lucky with our comrades on the Pearl of India. You were all divine. They were absolutely lovely. One night we came in at 11 o'clock at night, and they waited up for us. They couldn't speak because they were so pissed, but they waited up for us, and that was really special. And we got friends for life from that rally. Absolutely superb. Really superb, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's those stories that sum this organisation and then these rallies up for me. Peter, fantastic adventures all the same, even if you were trying to keep fingerprints off the paintwork.
Yeah, no, I wasn't so worried about the paintwork. I couldn't open my door half the time because people were straight there as soon as he broke down. Selfie? No, fuck off. I'm trying to mend it, you know. Anyway, no, we had a fabulous time. We were a bit unlucky. Our car was a morning car, not an evening car, afternoon car. It didn't like the heat.
Sounds like some of the competitors, not evening people.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Well, before we went on the rally, at home, when we've had a few words, we have WIB, which is words in bed. When you're on the rally, it's WIC, it's words in car. And we had a few of those. We had a few.
Ladies and gents, I didn't think we were going to go there. Peter and Debbie. Spirit of the competition. And I hope you will admire my professionalism in not taking that on a step further, which I could have done, and at some of the Rally Award dues, I might have done. We move on to our 7th award. I love the congratulations. I love the celebrations that you guys all have. I would just like to call Thomas back up, please, our chairman, to present this award, because it is a very special one. The 7th award is the chairman's award, and I'm going to hand the microphone to Thomas, because this is a special one, and I want you to say a few words.
Yes, indeed. Normally, the Chairman Awards comes to somebody who's done something quite extraordinary, whether it's in the bar or in the car. This year, the tone is slightly different, as we lost a dear friend, Jim Callahan, for those who met him on the P2P, on the Flying Scotsman, on the Novice Trial, and a whole raft of other events. A man who, quite incredibly, within 2.5 years had become a very close friend. He lived 500 meters away where my mother grew up in Greenwich, Connecticut, all of a sudden, hence my accent and all that stuff. A true pioneer, one of the most successful bankers in New York, with a visceral love for pre-war cars. And unfortunately, he departed on the 1st of January without any notice to anybody. His wife, Danny, will be carrying on his legacy on the Bedwee Trail with the Bentley that they had promised. With her brother, I promised that I would make sure that their son, Tucker, would be, if you want, addicted to the Octane family as much as we all are, which I and Patrick and everybody at Hero will do for Tucker. So a quick video to celebrate a friend who was a gentleman. His mantra was, it's all good. Whatever you had, car broke down, it's all good. Broke my knee like bent, it's all good. Hangover, it's all good. Everything was always good, because his mantra was about helping other people and being absolutely selfless for himself. And we will miss these kind of people, and we're grateful that our community actually allows us to have exposure to them in the first place. So, Jim Callahan.
So you think we're in a NASCAR outing. In reality, we've been here for 15 minutes. And it's all good. We're in China and we're having a great time. We had a great time. It was a fantastic trip.
And Thomas, if you would please take the award. We want a photo of you holding that high in the air so we can send that to Jim's family to show the respect and the love that there was in the room for us this evening. So we'll get a picture of you holding that high in the air, please, for his family, Thomas. Please put your hands together. A poignant award and a reminder that as much as we all love rally cars, it's the people that we do this for. Thank you for that moment. If you could stay on the stage for me. It's fine, it's all good. We rehearsed that. If you would stay on the stage for me, I would like to invite Patrick to join us as well, because we've got another special award. In fact, this isn't an award. Patrick was keen to point out this is not an award. This is a special recognition. Where's the other microphone? Thomas has got it, actually. Yeah. I'm going to give both of you a microphone. I'm told by Tony that's a dangerous thing to do, but we're going to go with it anyway.
Okay.
This is a special award for a special recognition for somebody who has been a huge part of the Hero ERA family, has meant an awful lot to both of you, but to everybody in the room. I think we just invite him on stage and then we can say some words with him. Please welcome, once again, Guy Woodcock.
Detail is into Mr. Guy Woodcock.
My glasses, so I can't read it.
Dude. Look, I have to say a few words because we did meet in a ditch and it wasn't 2 meters. It was luckily 3 centimeters on the right side of the car. I would have severed, anyway, it would have been pretty ugly. But I called Guy a few months later. Can we do this thing together? You've got the knowledge, you've got the passion. You're clearly as bad a driver as I am.
I would have was driving.
Yeah, whatever. Good excuse. And 13 years after, Guy was instrumental in setting a standard which I believe is followed by other organizers. I hope it is. You guys are the judges of all of that. Guy is a man who's put his passion and enthusiasm, his professionalism and integrity before anything else. And we have been commonly and communally the beneficiaries of that. Us at Hero, you as participants and friends. This is not something that you cross every day. So thank you, Guy.
Before you talk, Guy, Patrick described you earlier to me as the kind of man that gets stuff done.
Yeah, exactly. That's a Sopranos, exactly.
Yeah, I'm stuck with words, which those of you in the room who know me, that's not usual. I wasn't expecting this. I've just done my job. Sorry.
Well,
from my point of view, we have a great community. I've been honoured to be working with Hero ERA for the last 13 years. I'm not going away. I'm still going to be about. I just want to say thank you to all the people that have worked with me or for me, whichever way you want to look at it, without which I couldn't have done that job. I can be grumpy, apparently. I can be short. I can be annoying. But, those of you who know me, I do it because I want to do it and I want to make it right. When I sent everything through at the end and announced my semi-retirement, there's one person I actually missed, and I got a lot of grief for that. And the one person that's kept me on the straight and narrow for the last 10 years, well, probably 32 years, because that's how old she is my daughter Claire. I missed out to say thank you to her, but she's the one that, when I'm having a bad day, she's the one that brings me back down to earth. And it is, you're doing this because you enjoy it. The people I work with, some great people, Anthony Preston, who you can see on there, all those people, Andy Pullen, Nick Reeves, George Mullins, Kim, John Spiller, and then the new regime, in terms of James, Gethin, Julia, Stanka, Gemma, all of those people are here because they have a passion for this sport. And to me, that is what it's all about. And I'm very embarrassed to accept this, but thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you to Guy and thank you to Patrick and Thomas once more. 2025 was an incredible year for Hero ERA across the board. You don't need me to tell you that. From the novice trial and rally for the ages, all the way to the world's longest and toughest historic motoring adventure. And we've heard some flavours from that adventure tonight, haven't we? The Peking to Paris Motor Challenge. Was it the big dream or was it the ultimate adventure?
sa sa re re mama papa re re mama papa ni ni mama papa ni ni sa 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 ni da pa ma ga re ma pa pa mama pa 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 ma pa ni da pa ma ga re ga sa re ma pa pa mama pa pa ma pa sa ni da pa ma ga re ga sa ni sa re ma ga re ma pa ni da pa ma pa ni sa re ma ga re sa ni da pa ma ga re pa mama pa ma pa sa ni da pa ma ga re ga sa re ma pa mama pa ma pa sa ni da pa ma ga re ga sa.
What you just saw there is incredibly hard to do. I work in this field. To sum up an entire season with snippet videos that leave you with absolutely no doubt as to the character of each one of those events is a real talent. I just want to take the opportunity at this point just to thank Gary Williams and Will Broadhead for their fantastic imagery that they produce through the season, because I've said to Julia a few times, the photos and the videos that go on the Hero ERA social media are not photos and videos of rally cars. They are like pieces of artwork. And you look at it and you know exactly what this organization and what these adventures are all about. Please put your hands together for your absolutely brilliant media team. And I mean that. For the final part of the awards, I'd like to invite someone to the stage who we all should feel extremely privileged to share a room with. I know I do every time I am privileged enough to do so. A man who is the chairman of Motorsport UK, the boss of ProDrive, and a 1981 World Rally Champion, one of the most highly respected figures in world motorsport. Please welcome to the stage, David Richards, CBE. Do you know what? In my notes it says, because we did it a little while ago, David might want to talk about the Dakar. Well, you know what? Whether you want to or not, we'd quite like to hear it.
Well, it's, you know, I've always looked at Dakar. Ari asked me to do Dakar many, many times, and I refused every year. I said, I'm not sleeping under a truck in the middle of the desert every night. And so I stayed away from it for a long, long time. But eventually, everyone said to me, this is the, you know, barring possibly some of the adventures that you guys do, but this is the modern day Everest of motorsport. This is the event you've got to win. And so we've tried for 5 years, and we've been on the podium 4 times, but this time to win it outright was very special. So I can retire in comfort now. I can sort of forget about it all and say, I've done it.
But you were out there.
We're there, and with Karen. She came all the time. We do so much together, and we sort of, she came, no, I'm going to be with you in the desert, and I think she likes it more than I do, quite frankly. It's, so sleeping in the desert for a couple of weeks, and here we are, and we've got that under our belt finally.
Now, as the chairman of Motorsport UK, clearly you are passionate more than most about getting young people into the sport, and I think that's one of the things that stands out to me about what Hero ERA does. And we've seen some glimpses of that this evening, but it's a huge thing for us to do, isn't it?
No, it's really important, and you know, if I look back at the history of well, firstly, a little sort of sidetrack. I can remember these 2 gentlemen, Patrick and Thomas, coming to see me. I'm trying to think, I asked Patrick's wife, Thomas's wife, how long ago this was. They came to see me and said, you know, we've done this historic rally, and they're not organising it very well, and so we decided to take over and organise it for them. And they told me all their ambitions, and I thought, 2 mad Italians, leave them to it. And but here we are, all those years later, and what they've created, and with the help of so many people in the room here today, is quite extraordinary, and I just applaud you for it, because I just think the enthusiasm, the camaraderie is just extraordinary, and well done. So, but if I look back at Motorsport UK, I've been chairman for 8 years. I retire this year finally. But we started off having to reorganise a lot of the functioning of the organisation. It was sort of not fit for purpose in a modern world, and we've done all that. And we're building now on foundations. And the future of Motorsport UK is actually encouraging more people to participate in motorsport more often and just have fun, because there are so many opportunities for people to take part in motorsport. We're all very fortunate in this room. We've sort of, you know, possibly I look around the demographic, we've all had our careers, and we've had the opportunity to buy cars later on and really take part. But imagine some youngsters that, as we were possibly at 17 years of age, that opportunity to participate in a fun event with your local friends, the local motor club, and that's what we've got to encourage again, and that's what Motorsport UK is all about now. We are setting a new agenda, Vision 2030, to bring more young people back into the sport, enjoying what we have the privilege to do.
So we expect to see a big push for Rally for the Ages for 2026 then from your social media team,
Who
David.
knows?
David is going to stay with us to present the 2 End Awards this evening. Now, the Golden Roma we'll talk about first. The last time I met this bloke was he was co-driving in a Darien on a very wet Manx rally probably 15, 16 years ago. And he reminded me of that this evening. I did have to say to him, just do that so I can actually see who you are. But he is one of the few top navigators to also win the Hero ERA Cup for champion drivers as well, and the results speak for themselves. I've got something to read out before we call him up to the stage. No spoilers here, he knows who he is, but Tony actually received an email, watch me try and find it now, with a telegram on it. I didn't know what a telegram was. And I said to Tony, is this right? And he said, just read it out, Paul. Anyway, it is an actual telegram, I'm led to believe. And it's from the Rally Banter group on WhatsApp. Any of you in that? No one dares admit it. Sounds like one of those groups and all. It says, many congratulations to our good friend Pete Johnson on gaining his second Golden Roma. Pete won the coveted trophy again last year despite swapping seats for the Classic Marathon, where we finished in the top 10 with his lovely wife Jo navigating. Everybody knows there's no grammar in this telegram at all. I think that's how they work. Everybody knows they will have a great rally if Pete is on the entry list. Have an amazing evening, pal. Sorry we couldn't be there with you on this special night. And Tony will send you that telegram. Please welcome to the stage with a big round of applause your Golden Roma winner, Pete Johnson. We should start with that fantastic looking award. I think that absolutely brilliant, isn't it? An actual Golden Roma. Are you going to use that this year?
Unlikely, but...
Thanks for humouring me.
Well, guys just shouted out there. Now, before we say any more, who's going to take responsibility of this? Because last time, 3 years ago, I got a bit of a bollocking for taking it home. I mean, I've just been...
You did win it.
I did, and David's just given me the award, so I took it home. And then there were... Hero, had gone missing, hadn't it? You didn't... Yeah, so who's... There you go.
Well, Eve doesn't trust you, she's swapping it mid-speech.
There you go. There you go. Thank you very much.
She really didn't trust you. That was visceral. I saw the look on her face. Well, look, go on.
Well, I was just going to say, last time, security at London City Airport wanted to know what that was all about. And it's very, it's a rally trophy, and it's very difficult to explain to them, regularity rallying.
Well, do you know what? Let's start with that, shall we? If you're in the pub and someone says to you, I saw it on social media that you won an award, Pete. What is it you do? How would you go about describing that?
It's difficult. It will be easier to explain to them how the universe works, actually. It's not rallying like David was doing, which is just flat out as fast
Careful,
as you
this could go either way.
David,
would you like this, just in case?
Yeah.
Go on, no, you got to finish now.
No, it's true. I mean, everybody here knows how it works, so yeah.
Highlight of the year for you, because we've seen the video, there's a lot of them, but what stands out? Again, you're back in the pub, telling your mate how the universe works. What would you tell me your highlight of the year was?
The highlight was the first test on the Flying Scotsman when John Lomas, across the flying finish, went off the road and flattened a sign that said, "Keep off the grass." Yeah.
That's what you do when you're a rally driver. You aim for those things. Ladies and gents, our Golden Roma. He won the award, but he's not taking it home. Oh, no, hang on. What did I do wrong?
No. Oh, well, I've got to go do a few thank yous.
Oh, well, you can. I thought you look like you were finished.
Oh, no.
We should have rehearsed this way better, Pete.
Right. I've just got to do a few thank yous, and...
What do you want me to do? Anything? No?
Just stand there. Okay. You're okay. Right.
Right here.
This guy says keep it short, and this is...
You're nailing it. You're nailing it.
But there's 4 drivers that have helped me achieve this year. It's slightly confusing. 3 of them are named John. So I'm just going to... Paul Crosby for the Summer Trial and HC3, 27 points. This sounds like End of Term at Hogwarts, doesn't it now? John Dunning, HC1 and Rally of the Test, 63 points. John King, is John King here? Here's John King. John King For HC2, 0.
Nil point.
Nil point.
That's what it sounds like to me, Pete.
What went wrong there, John? I mean, we dropped 2 seconds on the first regularity, then that was the end of it. Car broke down. But I have to say, congratulations to John, who won the Rally of the Test this year. Quite remarkable result. Who else? Yeah, where is he? John Lomas, Flying Scotsman, and Le Jog, 115 points. Yeah, well done, John. I just wanted to say, I wrote a note down here, something Thomas said earlier about motivate people for going outside their comfort zone. So, I'm stood up here, I'm outside my comfort zone here, I'll tell you.
You are enjoying it, I can tell.
No, I'm not. I want to thank all the marshals all year. Is Henry and Charlotte here? Special? They're not here, but a special mention to them because on both the Flying Scotsman and Le Jog, we crashed at their control twice. And if Henry hadn't pushed us out the ditch, we'd still be there now. So thanks to them. And I also want to say particularly to the whole team on the Classic Marathon who kept the rally going under difficult circumstances. You know, we won't go into the details what happened, but in the end, we had a good rally and it was kept going and it was good fun. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gents, Pete Johnson, the Golden Roma winner, and it was an incredibly close competition in the end. And as you saw then, lots of people were involved in that award. Right, we come to our 10th award tonight, the Hero ERA Cup. Now, this man, well, with his son Harry navigating, who narrowly missed out on the Golden Roma and put on a fantastic performance. And by the way, I've still got you wrong. I'm going to nick your award now after what you said earlier. In both a Porsche 911 and a Mini, really did entertain us this season. Now, a lot of people have told me that when I invite him to the stage, he's neither going to smile or talk to me, but I am going to prove you wrong. Please put your warmest welcome of the evening in the air for Dick Baines. There is a wonderful photo on the Winter Challenge many years ago where there you are at Brooklands and a young Harry, about 2 years old, is stood there with his dad looking proud as punch. And here you are, the winner this evening, and Harry's here, proud as punch of you again. If that's not what it's all about, I don't know what is. Are you happy?
Yeah, it's great, yeah. He's done as well. Harry's done well to do what he's done, and we've done well together.
Mini or Porsche? I asked you at the table and you've had time to think about it now. Which one do you prefer?
Both.
Yeah? Which one do you get the biggest smile when you climb in the morning? You think, here we go then?
They're both equally as good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you got a highlight of the year? Because I think there's nothing better than a dad and a lad having a day out together in a rally car, but winning the events that you win together is pretty special. A lot of people talking about your achievements this year. What's your highlight, though?
I think winning the Rally of the Test Light was the best rally this year. But we've had great rallies on the ones we've been on. Yeah, they've all been very good.
That's a smile, that is. Ladies and gentlemen, Dick Baines.
I'd just like to thank everybody at Hero for putting all the events on. It's been great, and everybody else involved. and also Harry, my great navigator. Thank you.
And your son. And I think Hero ERA should share that photo, actually. Oh, yeah, sorry, they're going to swap it for a smaller one. I'm seeing what... He was trying his best, wasn't he? That is the... I'm not sure. What's that? Is that right? Okay. There's something in it. That's the end of the formal presentations here. After dessert, there will be a photo call for winners. Now, I know what drivers can be like. Navigators will find their way there fine. But after desserts, I will give the drivers a reminder for that photo call. But we just want to say another thank you to Gary Williams and Will Broadhead, but also on behalf of Patrick and Thomas and the rest of Hero ERA, a huge thank you to the media, the sweeps, and I love that phrase, by the way, I hadn't heard it before I came into Hero ERA, the medics, the route planners, the event managers, absolutely everybody, the marshals, everybody involved behind the scenes in this incredible organisation. You heard it from one of the most respected men in motorsport. This organisation has turned heads and it has created wonderful adventures, and you are all a part of those. So please, before desserts are out, just give yourselves and everybody involved the huge round of applause that you all deserve.
I'm very pleased. I mean, I've got to be honest, that there's only... Being retired, it gives me the time to do all the events, and I'm very lucky to be, all these drivers that asked me to do it. I feel privileged, really. The toughest rally is always Rally of the Test. It's full on for 3.5 days, really. So, and I love Rally of the Test. I've done Rally of the Test now 13 times. And I'd like to just say congratulations to Miles. I've done 13 rally tests. I think I've been 6th. The best result was 6th. I've been 3 or 4 times. And Miles has done it once and finished 4th. He's not a star of the future. He's a star now.
Well, to win it once was really a great thing, and to come back this year winning it twice is something that we never thought we'd achieve, but here we are. So I would like to thank all the people at Hero and the team and everybody who puts on these rallies. They're always very good and well run. We've been looked after very well this year by the mechanics who've had to get us running again when we've broken down. So if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have achieved what we've achieved. So Harry's been exceptional this year, done very well, and to get us where we've finished up. It's a big support to me. We work well together.
In every Hero Cup dinner, it's kind of a celebration, not really about Hero ERA, but those who participate in all of our events. And today, I think the emotional factor was significant. It was tangible. From the youngest navigator, age 17. To the winners of P2P, to Sabine Notz, the first woman to drive the Peking to Paris, pretty much unfiltered. They say a lot. They say a lot about the community that we represent, the passion for the sport that we organize, the general desire to travel around the world and see how wonderful the rest of the world really is.